Welcome back to the channel, guys, and in today's video we are reviewing something a little bit different from the usual content. With all these ideas I've been having lately and the things I've been creating, I thought it was time for us to get a 3D scanner and add that to the toolbox. Today we're going to be looking at the Revopoint 3D scanner, specifically the Range model. This is a pretty good scanner, or apparently it's a good scanner for larger objects like cars, humans, and larger statue like figures. The Revopoint comes in around $1,000 if you're buying the scanner with the turntable. If you choose not to, it's around $800. It's a pretty good price for a tool like this, especially with Amazon. They have deals going on all the time. So if we take a look right now, it is going for $623, so it might be more or less, and there's a 5% coupon savings attached to that deal as well. So you never know, you might even find it for a better deal, so it's always good to keep a look on Amazon to see if the prices have dropped, and then if you're in the market for one, you can always buy it. So I'll leave a link in the description below of the model that I'm using for this video, so if you guys want to check that one out, it'll be right there and you guys can see if there's any deals going on for it. So from the initial test, the Revopoint does everything I really wanted to do, and especially for the price, it's a really good tool. The accuracy is pretty good. It's better than your phone would be with the LiDAR or your new iPhone if you have one. Then you can do scans with the phone or taking pictures of it and putting it into a software. And it also definitely beats spending $10,000 for a higher end scanner that you could use. The main benefit of this scanner is that you can use it pretty much with any device you own. So you can use it with a phone, you can use it with a MacBook, you can use it with a Windows computer or laptop. And it really doesn't need much to run the software that you need to scan these models. So here are the specs of what your computer needs to run, and with the iPhone you can do Wi-Fi and you just need to download the app on your phone and you're able to use it. I believe it also is capable of doing it on an Android as well. Alright, let's jump into what comes in the package and let's take a look at what the scanner looks like. Let's take a look as to what is inside. We get instructions manual. This right here is the 3D scanner. We got cable connectors for different applications. So either if you're going with the iOS or phone, you will be going Wi-Fi, so that's also supported. We have this extender, and it has input-output. Then we have a phone mount to attach to this as a monitor if you're scanning with a phone, so that also helps. And then this is the stand for the 3D scanner. Let's assemble it and see how it works. The software itself is pretty easy to use and it is pretty intuitive, so you can get the hang of it pretty quickly. I will say though that the scanner does not do very well with dark objects or shiny ones. So if you're scanning a car, you really want it to be dirty or you want to matte it out, and I will show you guys how to do that. So one option would be to spray the car with 3D scanning spray. That is the more expensive option, or you can opt to do it the cheaper way, and a more readily available option would be to spray it with dry shampoo. It's cheaper, you can find it in any store, you can buy it on Amazon, you can buy it at Target, and it will be cheaper than the 3D scanning spray. So once I used the dry shampoo, which I used on my car, it tremendously increased the scanning capabilities. Honestly, it allowed me to scan the front end of my car without any issues. I did not have to use trackers because the day I was scanning this, or the day I was scanning my car, I completely forgot to bring the trackers with me to put on the car. But my car being gray, it might have also caused some issues with the trackers. But 3D scanners love white matte surfaces, so if you can get it more white, the better it is. Save yourself some time by spraying the car down with the dry shampoo, because I didn't do that and I had to rescan it twice, so just save yourself time. Spray anything that's dark or shiny immediately and it will help you save a lot of time scanning it and getting pretty good scans right off the bat. For really flat surfaces like hoods on the cars, trunks, roofs, you really do need to use the markers on front bumpers. There are enough points usually, depending on what type of car you have, that you might not need it, but you should use it because it really helps the 3D scanner track across the bumper and allow you to get more precise data, and it also avoids you from getting garbage data by the scanner losing tracking and then starting to track again and then inputting that wrong data into the wrong location. So to prevent that, it might just be easier to use the trackers and you'll be able to do it in one go. You will need a fairly good amount of trackers on a car that has a lot of flat panels, but if you're trying to get a good scan, it's not that bad. Here we are prepping the M3 for a frontal scan to see how it looks and if any of the model data will add up to the real values. Now, taking a look at the software did a decent job of scanning the front of the car with the scanner losing tracking a few times and creating a few garbage data points. The back of the scanner has a start-stop button, so you are able to stop the scan as soon as you notice that tracking was lost and avoid the pileup of garbage data. My initial impressions of the scanner are pretty good, especially after I used it with the dry shampoo. The first time I used it, I didn't do that, and I did think that this product wasn't working pretty well, but after I used dry shampoo, it worked so much better. So it's all about using the product correctly to get it to work the best. So I wasn't expecting the scanner to provide professional grade scans, but for the price point, it did deliver pretty nice scans and usable scans, especially for modeling. If you're doing any CAD modeling, they were pretty usable. So the scan is worth it. It does work, so you are able to use the scanned parts, and if you're trying to create parts or if you're trying to create a full model of your car, it is also an option. So depending on what you're doing, you might need higher tolerances or accuracies with the scan, but for what I have planned, it was perfect. So if I hadn't forgotten my tracking markers, it would have made the job so much easier. It would have probably taken me maybe 2 goes with scanning my car to get like a full model of the car, but because I did forget my markers, I only got portions of the car, and the portion I'm showing you guys was the front bumper that I got, and I only got a segment of it because I only needed that portion for what I'm doing right now. Would I recommend this scanner for everybody? Probably not. If you're not using CAD software or you don't plan on doing stuff like that, it probably won't bring any benefits to you. But if you do plan on using CAD modeling software or using the scan car for something like that, then it probably would bring you a lot of benefit because you can plan out any projects that you have in the computer, and you can also have these custom parts made, which is pretty nice because the few times I've done that for my cars, I've loved how nicely those parts came out, and you can also bring out concept car looking parts for a lot cheaper, and you don't have to wait for somebody else to create what you thought of. In the end, using the scanner allows me to create custom parts that I've thought of or I need for my specific builds, and we're able to implement these parts with high precision, high accuracy, and aesthetically pleasing designs. So it does allow me to create better parts for my custom builds. All in all, we'll see how I end up using this 3D scanner in the future and what we will end up using it on in for a future project. So I'm still trying to figure out what the best project would be to use this scanner, but for now I'm going to continue messing with the scanner on the M3 and see what I can come up with for new parts for my car that might improve performance or make it aesthetically pleasing, or create custom parts for the car that I've thought of but I've never gotten a chance to do because some of the dimensions on that car can be tricky to nail, and I am a perfectionist, so my parts, if I do make them, I want them to fit like a glove. And that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it's not something we've done in the past, but I thought I'd share a new tool that I'm going to be using for future videos and builds. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.